You said the outside door was unlocked.
Yes, sir.
Now, was that lock, as I understand it, there at one time was a rock, the teacher removed the rock, the teacher closed the door or heard slam the door. We don't know really what all to believe because we've heard so much stuff. But was the door closed and did the lock just not work?
The only way you can lock these exterior doors in the west building, there's 4 doors. One is for the library and 3 other entrances, east, west, and south. The only way to do that is from the outside. You can't do it otherwise. So when she knocked the rock out, it closed securely. But there's no way for her to tell that the door was unlocked. And the only way to know that the door was unlocked is go out, close the door, okay, then try it. And so that's the only way you can tell on this particular model.
But he came straight through the door with no problem.
It was unlocked. He walked straight through it.
So did y'all check the lock later to see if the lock was malfunctioning, or was it working?
Yes, the locks were working fine. And that on the exterior doors, the locks were working fine. Now I can tell you, looking at the picture here, you don't need a key to get into this building. It could have been locked. This glass doesn't have mesh on it. All you have to do is shoot through this glass. Okay, reach in, there's a bar. Well, here's a bar. Pull that, and you're in. Now, the subject would have known that. He would have known it. And the same thing, these panes are also vulnerability.
Yeah, anybody can look at that and tell it'd be easy to take a gun and shoot holes in it and reach it around.
Yes, sir.
But the first question was, the lock was functioning correctly?
The lock was functioning correctly, and the door was unlocked. It was closed, but unlocked.
I thought when it closed, it was supposed to automatically lock.
Well, you can set it to two sections, and it's similar to the actual door on the interior as well. You can turn it all the way one direction. It's unlocked. You can turn it another direction, and it's in the locked position.
So the latch was working functionally.
Yes, sir.
Well, it was just turned in a position when you close it, it doesn't lock.
Exactly. Someone did not lock that door.
Okay.
And similarly, the south door, which I described officers going in early on, that door was unlocked as well.
Second thing, okay, you may have just said what I was fixing to ask, but the classroom door, was it locked or not locked?
The classroom door, if we can get a picture of it, I think this one is probably the best example if you don't mind. This isn't the actual door. Well, this shouldn't really. This is the actual door, but we don't really want to use that. This is room 127 and 126. That's what 111. That's 112 and 111 would look like in that regard. And here's the door. You cannot lock this door from the inside of the classroom. There's nothing the teacher could do to lock the door inside the classroom. The teacher can come outside the classroom as the requirement is to lock the door with a key, only with a key, and this right here by turning it, and the lock position. And I can actually have the door of another. This came from the west building, one of the doors right here, and I can demonstrate that if you'd like at this time, Mr. Chairman.
So the teacher could not even lock the classroom door from the inside?
That's correct. There's no way to lock the door from the inside, and there's no way for the subject to lock the door from the inside.
It was open.
We'd heard reports that the lock was malfunctioning, that they had turned in a request for the lock to be fixed. Is that all fictitious? Or
we had a locksmith inspect the lock and the strike plate. The lock was functional. The strike plate was not. What was not happening is, so as you can see on this door here, is that, yes, the lock was working as it was designed, but if it doesn't, if the through doesn't get into the strike plate, it may be locked, but it's not secure. You can just open it. And that's so it can be the locked position, ironically, in the locked position or unlocked position, and it's still unsecured and can be opened.